In March 2004, a group of British soldiers entered Alpazat Cave in Puebla, Mexico. They thought it was just a training exercise, but within days their story would be remembered as the cave that trapped soldiers. Alpazat Cave was a dangerous place, a maze of passages, tunnels, and flooded chambers. Water seeped from every crack. The air was damp, the walls slick. Deep inside, the soldiers practiced moving through the dark. It was supposed to test endurance and teamwork. Instead, it became a fight for survival. The group was part of a Special Forces training mission, 7 men in total. They had come to Mexico quietly, carrying caving gear and supplies, but they had no official permission from the Mexican government. That fact would soon turn a rescue mission into an international scandal. At first, everything went according to plan. The soldiers crawled, climbed, and explored deeper into the cave. Their headlamps cut through the black. Boots splashed in the mud. The sound of dripping water echoed off the walls. It was grueling, but controlled. Then the rains came. Alpazat was notorious for flooding. Heavy rain on the surface poured into the cave system. What had been a narrow stream quickly became a rushing torrent. Passages that were once open turned into underground rivers. Escape routes vanished in minutes. The soldiers were trapped. Imagine being deep underground and hearing the roar of water in the distance, knowing it is rushing straight toward you, and realizing there is nowhere to go. The men pulled back into a chamber high enough to stay dry. They huddled together, using their training to remain calm. They rationed food. They tried radios, but signals could not penetrate the rock. Every hour, the water rose higher, cutting them off from the surface. Back above ground, news spread fast. Local villagers raised the alarm. Soon, Mexican authorities realized that foreign soldiers were trapped in one of their caves. They were furious. No one had given these men permission to train here, and now the responsibility for rescuing them fell on Mexico. What began as a survival story quickly became political. The Mexican government accused the British soldiers of being on a secret mission. Were they testing equipment? Spying? Why had they not asked for clearance? While the world speculated, 7 men remained in the dark, waiting to live or die. Rescuers arrived at Alpazat, Mexican firefighters, police, and cavers. But the operation was dangerous. Floodwater blocked the passages. Every move deeper into the cave risked another team getting trapped. Meanwhile, in Britain, pressure mounted. The government could not deny that its soldiers were inside the cave, but officials insisted it was only a training exercise. The Mexican media erupted in anger. Crowds gathered near the cave entrance. Some demanded punishment for the intruders. Others feared the rescue would fail. Inside, the soldiers clung to their discipline. They kept logs of their time. They shared rations. They sang songs to keep spirits alive. But the air grew colder. The smell of damp stone filled their lungs, and the knowledge of being trapped gnawed at their minds. Days passed. Rescuers battled the water with pumps and hoses. They mapped alternative passages. Each attempt took hours, sometimes days. Mud stuck to ropes and boots. The roar of water drowned out voices. Every setback meant more time for the soldiers underground. The cave seemed to fight back with every move they made. What looked like progress one hour was lost again the next. Can you picture it? 7 men trained for war, but helpless against water and stone, waiting in silence, wondering if anyone would reach them. After more than a week, progress was made. Mexican rescuers, joined by experts from Britain, finally pushed through. They reached the chamber where the soldiers waited. The men were alive, tired but disciplined. One by one, they were guided out, crawling, climbing, inching their way back through the flooded maze. After more than a week underground, the soldiers finally saw daylight. They emerged pale, soaked, and blinking at the sun. Locals cheered, reporters swarmed, and politicians prepared their statements. The men had survived, but the scandal was just beginning. Mexico demanded answers. Why had these soldiers come to train without permission? What was the purpose of their mission? Officials spoke of violations of sovereignty. Some even accused them of hiding military objectives under the cover of caving. In London, the government insisted it had been innocent, a training trip gone wrong, but many in Mexico never believed that. For weeks, newspapers ran headlines about spies, soldiers, and secrets. The cave rescue had turned into a diplomatic storm. Alpazat Cave remains infamous today, not because of its beauty, not even because of its danger, but because 7 men walked in as soldiers and came out at the center of an international crisis.